guys, I'm Arno.
I'm Mark.
And this is A Life in Dublin.
Today we chatted to Derv, great conversation. If you wanted some advice for what to do in Dublin, get some ideas, this is a really good episode to listen to. Nice.
I think that some people have an opinion about Dublin and like an ingrained idea, which I don't think is true.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people think, and they say to me, there's nothing going on in Dublin, there's nothing to do here, and all this negative talk. And I'm like, you're insane. I'm like, let me tell you something to do every night of the week, multiple things to do every night of the week, because there's so much going on, there's so many amazing restaurants, there's so much talent in terms of music, comedy, magic, drag, dance. There is so much to do, and I don't think it's small town. It's super metropolitan. It's a convenient size in terms of small town. It's really easy to get around if you have a bike. But don't talk about public transport.
Fair enough.
That's the worst part. But no, I don't think it's small towny. I got a bit intimidated at the start because I was definitely getting kind of comments more from like family, no offense to them and their beliefs, but it was very like, what about your savings? What about buying a house? Like, you're still single. Like, are you going to end up being homeless and single at 50, renting with a bunch of 20-year-olds? And like these kind of comments I was genuinely getting, and I was like, that for a while made me feel like I'm in the wrong place. No one is woke here. Get me out. But then you just create your community and you find the people that you want to hang out with, and then you realize there's a whole amazing mindset here as well.
Yeah. Can we improvise something for a second? Mm-hmm. So imagine you have a friend, let's say you met them in Mexico, right? Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, I'm going to come live in Dublin. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay, great. They're here for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. They say to you, Derv, there's nothing to do here. What am I going to do? And you're like, right, I'm going to plan something for you to do for 7 days of the week. So Monday to Sunday. Okay. So can we kind of try and improvise what we would think of doing for those people?
Absolutely.
For that type of person?
100%. Okay, Monday. Is there any limit on spending?
Reasonable.
Yeah, like we go out for lunch every day.
You're here trying to look for a job.
Okay. So I'm not a huge foodie, so I won't go into like restaurants. But let's say there's a million restaurants, and you'll have no problem finding good food and good coffee. So start off the morning with coffee. Okay. So nighttime circle sessions on a Monday, 100%. Mm-hmm. One of the longest running open mics. It's not the longest. I think the Ruby sessions on a Tuesday is the longest. That's 23 years. But Monday we're going to do circles. But let's say during the daytime, we could go on a hike. And I know it's outside of Dublin, but like we can go to Wicklow, Greystones. Let's say you're on the Dart, go to Greystones, do a beautiful hike. Okay, no, we're going to do the Breda Greystones walk on Monday, okay? Nice. And then we're going to do Happy Pear. Amazing, get some nice food out there, and then we're going to come back to Dublin, chill. Then we're going to do the circle sessions. Okay. And that is going to be amazing, and you're going to meet so many people that you're going to network with there naturally. No network bullshitting, just like good people who live in Dublin.
Okay, so you're going to circle sessions to meet people, to get like into a community there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's at the International Bar as well.
Ah, brilliant. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The thing about the Happy Pear, great. Mm-hmm. If you're outside, be careful of the little birds, because they will, if you're like step away from your food for like a second. They're little ones. I can't remember what type it is. They just kind of jump down and they're on your plate, and you're like, oh, well, that's that done. Because one time I went out, I was like, right, I put my food down. I was like, I need to go to the toilet, so I just left my food, and then I came back and there was loads of birds all over my food. And I was like, well, maybe my own
rookie
fault,
mistake.
Yeah. So just a note if you're going to the Happy Pear. All right, so we have Monday.
Yeah, so Circles is a mix of music, poetry, comedy, everything. Great community run by Seamus and Roisin, and it's a lovely, lovely night. Okay, so on Tuesday we're going to do an outdoor thing again. It's sunny every day.
That's a good week.
And let's just why not do like the Howth Cliff Walk? So we can go to Howth, get the dart out to Howth, get some fish and chips, keep an eye on the seagulls. Much bigger birds.
It's always the birds.
It's the birds.
Bird is the word.
Yeah.
And we're going
to make a Dublin joke there.
Yeah,
but I was going to say you got to watch out for the birds in Dublin.
They'll steal your food or your chips.
They will steal your food, and maybe your big jumpers as well. So yeah, let's do like Howth, stunning, such a beautiful walk. Oh my gosh, best views ever. And you know, you get your fish chips, and then come back to Dublin, and you go to the hottest multicultural variety show in Dublin.
Dicey's. Fair. Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Just PTSD, sorry.
The flow show. The flow show.
Bit of selfless promotion here.
Yeah.
No, come here. Tell us a little bit about the Flow Show.
Oh my gosh, the Flow Show is just so great. So the Flow Show is what I said, multicultural variety show that I set up this April, and it's in the Workman's every Tuesday. And I set it up because I wanted to create and meet more musicians and poets, and in that terms, in those terms of creativity, because I had my art and design friends, but I was like, where's all the musicians at? Because like I love music, I'm obsessed with music, and I just wanted to be involved with that kind of community. And I'll be honest, I don't remember when that came to my mind, but I do remember I told someone I fancied I was going to do it, and then I was like, okay, I really have to do it now.
You have to prove it now. Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, how am I going to do this? So just emailed a bunch of places. Workman's got back to me, texted everyone on my phone, like, hey, this is Derv, I haven't been here in 6 years, I'm back, come to my show. And I begged all my friends who are musicians or poets to like take part, and they did, and the first show was amazing. And then after that it was word of mouth, and I didn't have to beg anyone.
That's
and
brilliant.
People just started signing up, and we usually have like a 2-month waiting list now to perform.
Okay. Wow.
So
That's pretty good.
it's very good, yeah. And the talent is like insane. Ross was one of our poets,
Ross is good.
and he's
Ross
amazing.
is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Thank
Yeah. And yeah, it's insane. It's just been so gorgeous. Like this year has just been like, the community is magical. Everyone is like so warm, so accepting, so supportive, and the talent is insane. It's not like open mic, you know, you have some like crappy comics and like real beginners people. Like I actually curate it. I look at everyone's work before they get to go on stage. I've said no to people, not in a way like you're not allowed. I've said no to only people who have said like inappropriate things in their jokes, or if they're like rapping about, you know, getting with your mom and all this kind of stuff, because there's been stuff like that which I think is fun on other stages, but the Flow Show in particular has like a very kind of like safe space, like vulnerable stage. Like people get up and talk about, like they'll be doing poems about like their trauma and things like that have happened to them. So like I can't have someone like talking about who they're riding and then the next girl being, you know, talking about this. So it's very, the talent is like crazy, like and I really don't even need to sell it. I don't make money off it. It's just like, it genuinely is like so talented, such a talented place. Every night someone comes up after and it's like, that was amazing, that was incredible, oh my gosh. And I'm like, yeah. And it's very inclusive, like it's an open door, anyone can come and join the community, and that is where you're going to meet good people who know what's going on in Dublin. So like in that night in itself, you're going to meet people who will just like open a million doors for you, because everyone also has their full-time jobs. You know what I mean? So you don't know who you're talking to, like an architect or like, you know, someone who works in stocks. Like it's just going to be so varied.
It's a network, and it's relaxed as well. You can have a beer and stuff, and
the venue in the Workman's there, you've the little back room in
the vintage room,
vintage room, which is super nice, really kind of cozy. The wallpaper is really nice as well, and then you get the nice view of the Liffey's. Kind of similar to us. We're continuing to expand. Over the last couple of weeks, you have a new member part of the Flow Show as well.
Oh yeah, Scott.
Do you want to explain how you kind of went from a one-woman operation to a one woman, one man?
Yeah. So it wasn't really. It was always one woman. I still do all the work. Scott co-hosts with me. But he basically was just like some young lad who came back from traveling and felt like he didn't see enough kind of interesting things happening in Dublin. And his friend Dara had played at the Flow Show a couple of months beforehand with an amazing band called Miam. And Dara had brought Scott. Scott had seen it, he went travelling, he came back, and he just approached me one day and was like, hey, I really like what you're doing, can I help? And in my head I was like, what could you possibly do? Like, I don't know what you would do. Like, I'm gonna talk to the people on Instagram, I make the Instagram posts, like I host. But I just want to mention, besides Scott, Andy is my sound guy, and there would be like nothing without the sound guy. So like Andy is like very like core. He might not be like at the front. Well, he's a character, so he's always making jokes and he's so great and funny. But he's sound man. He is great. But Scott basically helps me co-host, which I enjoy, but definitely kind of felt like I wasn't sure about it for the first while. Ego wise, 100%. I was like, this is kind of my show, and like I want to present it how I want to present it. But he is such a genuine, nice guy, and actually has a way better business and brain than I do. So like he's very good at thinking about like the future and the building and the finance and like how can we monetize, which is like, I'm not anti that at all. I would love to make money off the show, but he's very more focused on that. Like that's his background. So he's kind of like, I feel like we could just make some tweaks and maybe it will like just be beneficial in the long run. We can invest more in the show. So
evolve it a little bit, turn it into something good for not just the people but you as well. So.
Exactly. Like I put a lot of energy in. So we're gonna
I don't think there's any shame in that.
No, not at all. So yeah, I'm really happy to have Scott on, and he's a really good co-host. He's definitely relaxed into it. It was the last show where he did a really good job. So yeah,
we should try and chat to him as well.
Yeah, definitely.
If he wants to.
Yeah.
So that's Monday and Tuesday. We're moving on to Wednesday, halfway through the week, hump day. What's out there in Dublin?
Okay, cool. So I feel like at this point we can go and see some art. There's so much art going on. The National Art Gallery got redone a couple of years ago, and it's just such a gorgeous place. Like it's such a stunning place just to walk through, like just the building itself, let alone the actual art in there. So I would go in there and like check out all the halls and just walk around and chill. They've got like a nice coffee shop in there, and there's just loads of like gorgeous things to see. You could spend hours in there just chatting.
That little block, so you have obviously the Parliament buildings, you have the National Gallery, the Dead Zoo, the Archaeological Museum, and the Dead Zoo, which is the natural museum, and then you have the Dublin Library, I think, on the other side, beside the Archaeological Museum. So that whole little section there, Marion Square up to Derv Street, it's absolutely great.
All free, right?
All free, just
all free,
to pre-book, I think.
Yeah, that's such I love that space. And then across, if I could swap this actually to a Thursday, just because I know there's a market on Thursdays in Marion Square that my friend works at, and that's a really good food market. So I would do that. And on Wednesdays we have the Smithfield Creatives, which is an open mic again. So the difference between the Flow Show, Circles, and Smithfield is Circles is all open mic and with one feature. So they book in one feature, usually sometimes two, but they'll book in a feature which is 20 to 30 minutes, and then everything else is one song, like 5 minutes up. Mine is everyone gets 10 to 12 minutes, the Flow Show, so you have to pre-sign up. And then Smithfield is 2 or 3 features, different amounts of time, and then a few open mic spots.
Okay.
So they all vary in that sense.
Where is that one exactly? I know it's in Smithfield, but whereabouts in Smithfield?
So it's actually not in Smithfield.
That's the curveball, I guess.
Yeah, it started in Smithfield, and then it was kind of in Stanley Batter. They were bouncing around between different pubs and stuff, and now they're in the Jar on Camden or Angel Street, Wexford Street. Yeah, the Jar. Yeah. Okay. So up there, and they have kind of the upstairs garden area. That's where they do it.
All right.
Nice. That's gorgeous.
Super cozy and really nice. It's a nice little the venue look. It looks kind of rustic, kind of outdoors, but then they've loads of heaters as well, so you're nice and warm. Unless there's a staff party going upstairs, which was the night I did it. Super loud. There was just load of like music and people trying to. So, but it's a really nice venue. Good spot.
Yeah,
the Jar.
That's run by Adam Kelly, and he set that up in 2021, August 2021. So he's been doing it every year, and now he has Anne Condron, a vagabond queen. She goes by as her poetry name. That's his co-host now.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're both great, and they're both poets on the scene as well. So I would do Smithfield in the evening. That's Wednesday.
Yeah, we've got a good 3 days so far.
We had a great 3 days.
We're very cultured.
We are.
Yeah, we're getting to meet people, multicultural environments.
Yeah,
that's it.
Watch some talent, see some art.
Yeah.
Are we gonna kind of let loose a little bit on Thursday? What's the plan for Thursday?
Well, I feel like we're drinking at all these events, FYI.
At least a pint, at least one.
You might have 18 drinks in 1 week. Well, you've only had 3 a night, so that's okay. Yeah, honestly, like I'm not really a partier, so you won't really be letting loose at me. Like you're not going to be out until 4 a.m. But that's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I like live music, so I would go to Dashi, which Dashi, it's around here. It's
new for me.
It's a really
Around
cool
the corner
little
from
bar.
Bonobo.
Yeah.
Okay.
down there every Thursday they have jazz.
Yep.
And it's like a Luke Howard. I don't know if he's like a house band now, but he plays there quite often. He's an amazing piano player and singer. Oh my gosh. And he always has like really good musicians around him. So there's jazz there every Thursday.
Cool.
So-
I've never heard of that before. Dashi.
Yeah, it's deadly.
Food is class right next door in Soup, it's called, I think. or
Yeah,
something
it's like,
that.
is it Asian? Indian
Yeah,
or
I think
something?
they
Yeah.
have Korean dishes and Japanese dishes. It's so good.
That's a
The
Thursday.
fried chicken there, it's good stuff.
Japanese fried chicken is unreal. Another really good place for Japanese fried chicken is Rustic on Georgia Street beside
Rustic Stone.
Rustic Stone. Yes, serious Japanese fried chicken, probably the best.
There you go.
Stuff.
Are Rustic Stone still in business?
They are still in business. I think they revamped it inside. I think the downstairs is not so much downstairs anymore.
Is this the place that went on fire beside John Stores?
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
right on the
That
corner.
is
it, yeah,
It's
that
right
is
on the
it,
corner. But I went in upstairs.
Really crispy chicken there.
Japanese fried. The only thing is,
Homo on the scene for his podcast.
I'm out.
get it
That's
right. The only thing is, if you go upstairs, it's kind of like a little wine bar type thing, and they'll come down and they'll ask you what you want, and you can order there. But it's costs you like €5 for that table service when you could literally walk 2 meters and just order at the bar, and it won't cost you anything.
Good tip.
So that was the one thing that kind of got you at the end. Didn't even tell you that you were going to be paying for that table service. So
Oh,
I
really?
felt
They
I
added
felt
it
a
onto
li-
the bill?
Added onto the bill, so I felt a little bit. No, not that I'm just like, I would have gotten up for €5.
Yeah.
I would have gotten up and just walked over to the bar.
I'd prefer to give that €5 a tip.
Yeah,
To charge
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
but
I love Rustic Stone. So I used to work in Fade Street, and they're owned by the same company.
Alright.
And I have a soft spot. There's a lot of good chefs in there.
like
yeah.
Fade Street Social. or
Fade Street
like-
Social, the
okay.
tapas bar. It's not there anymore. They
Is
just
it
have
gone?
they have the restaurant, no tapas.
Okay,
But I love that company. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Thursday
That's
is
Thursday.
that was Thursday.
We didn't do the
Thursday.
daytime Thursday. I would bring them to the Botanic Gardens because
Very
I love
nice.
the Botanic Gardens.
I
And
thought we
grew
were
up-
having Marion Square.
So put the Botanics on Wednesday,
Okay,
and then put the
Museum
art
trip
on
on Thursday. Perfect.
Yeah. That's
Brilliant.
it.
I like it. Yeah.
Cool. And then so Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, so Friday.
By the way, you're doing very well. We're putting you on the spot here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh no,
that's
like
it.
I have people visit me all the time.
Yeah.
So like just from like Italy or like New York or LA, like I genuinely have a lot of visitors, so I always have ideas in my mind. I would still do more art. I would bring them to IMA. I just love IMA so much, so I'd bring them up there. And if I'm up at IMA, the Irish Museum of Modern Art,
Yeah.
I would also go to the Phoenix Park and show them the deer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did this with my friend. We cycled into the Phoenix Park. She saw the deer. She was like in awe. We did IMA and then we climbed some trees in the Phoenix Park, and it was so nice.
That's a
Oh
good
my
thing.
gosh, it
Yeah.
was such a
Climbing
nice
trees is
day.
nice.
Yeah. Also, I'd make them get a bike. I got my friend to get a city bike because I'm like, I'm not bussing it.
No.
You have to get on the bike, and I nearly killed her a few times. The policeman, the Garda, pulled us over because I went through a red light, and he was like, "Are you aware what you just did?" And she was all American and scared, and I was like, "They have no power. It's fine." But this guy was like milking it. She was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just visiting my friend," and I was here like, eye roll, and he was just like, "Do you drive?" And I was like, "No," and he's like, "We're better off, aren't we? Because you just." And I was like, "Okay, thanks."
99% of our listeners are guards. So you just say they're all-
Huge down in Tullamore.
Oh, God.
So Emma for sure. And then a Friday night, like I would take them drinking. Yeah, for sure. Let's go drinking. My favorite cocktail place is it's called Glovebox. Glovebox. It's in the Trinity Street car park upstairs. It's where the Peroni House of Peroni used to be.
Yeah.
And it's like basically a car park that's been converted into a dope bar. Great cocktails. It's like literally just like artwork everywhere, like still the yellow lines on the cement, and just like wooden kind of benches with fur on them, and then you just like drink some cool cocktails there. I love that spot. And they also have Alto Winter Garden. Have you heard of this place? And it's like a tasting menu only.
No.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's very hidden. It's not really on the map. You have to just know, go into Trinity Street car park, go to the 5th floor, you walk through, and then suddenly it's this like unreal bar.
Because it used to be the Peroni House of Peroni on the back of Dame Lane.
Oh, maybe I'm not there.
But no, but that was, I think, a pop-up for a while. So I didn't know they actually had a full Peroni bar.
Yeah, no, it's not a Peroni bar at all now. I thought it was in the same place, but yeah, anyway, that's a really cool place that I would bring people to.
Nice.
Would I bring them for dinner? If I was going to bring them for dinner, I would bring them to the Port House on South William, because they have cheese with honey there, and
It's
I would order
so
about
good.
6 of those.
The Spanish way.
Is that the kind of melted cheese kind
Yeah.
of honey thing?
Yeah,
What's
like
the name of that?
I don't know the name.
queso, queso con miel.
Queso con miel, yeah. But
Well,
it's cheese with honey. Like.
Yeah.
There is a specific
There's
name
a
for it,
name.
I think.
Yeah.
Is there?
Well, anyway, doesn't matter. You let us down there.
How's your
almost.
Spanish?
Muy bien, you're probably the best out of everyone here. I'm
I
terrible.
think my Spanish is pretty good, I would say, from
Yeah.
living in Mexico, but I
Mine
don't know.
too. I
Is
think-
it? Yeah.
I think my Spanish
I think
is
you guys should
pretty
have a little
Yeah.
fucking 2-minute conversation.
Yeah, probably.
Put the subtitles on for me though.
Yeah.
¿Qué dice Dora?
Can you say cheese in Spanish?
So yeah, definitely I would go like Port House. Oh my gosh, so good. And then I would bring them to the glove box, and then I don't even know where I would go dancing. Like I would probably bring them to like a salsa bar, maybe River Bar, because I love salsa dancing. And I'd find somewhere, like I don't like to go to like clubs. Like I wouldn't really be going to like the Palace. What is it called now?
The Palace, I think.
Camden.
Camden.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I love the music, but I hate queuing up. So I'm like, we're going to a place where we know we can just go and actually dance.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like the energy there. So I would probably go to River Bar if they still have salsa, but I'm not sure if they do.
I think
Yeah.
they do the dancing downstairs and
Dope.
I've actually never been since it became River, or maybe I have, but a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of the same way these days. I find myself getting, like, I think I'm getting old.
Yeah.
you don't like people, you don't like queuing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sat there, like, I was in a place there a couple of weeks ago, and it just took so long to get a drink.
Yeah.
And you know, it was one of those places where it was like all of the girls were getting served, and I was just standing
Jealous.
there like a spare tool for so long, and I was like, oh man, just give me a beer,
I know.
please. And I was rammed busy, and I was like, oh, I don't enjoy this like I
No.
used to. And it's weird that I used to, but I think I used to be so stociously drunk that's how I
Yes,
enjoyed
it was. You had to be drunk.
Yeah, and I think as you get older, sometimes it's like getting drunk isn't as easy as it used to be.
Build up the tolerance.
Yeah.
Because
Need to do a month cleanse.
The day after, the week after, you're just a bit rattled.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
but there's also there's like the fear of being hungover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that stops you.
Like we the three of us went out for a few beers and not so long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I left early because I was like, I go one more and I'm done tomorrow. I just can't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And these two young bucks continued on
Well,
till 1 o'clock in the morning.
We tried.
Oh.
We did try.
1 a.m.
Yeah, I was gone at 9.
Crazy.
No, that's not okay.
That was, yeah. Frank Ryan's.
Frank Ryan.
I
Pints
love
of
Frank
pizza.
Ryan's. They've got some. I saw an Unreal. I went to a gig there a couple of weeks ago on a Sunday, and Oceana Vibes were playing. Oh my gosh, and amazing! You should check them out. If this person visiting me was here this Sunday, as in today,
You take them there.
I would bring them to Farrier and Draper tonight. Fiona Loughlin is having her Emerald Sessions, which is a monthly event, and they're playing, and loads of other good people are playing tonight in Farrier and Draper. Like that's where I've been.
There we go.
Sunday.
There's so many links that we're gonna have to put into.
Oh my gosh, sorry, yeah, I'll provide.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Nice.
Boom. All right, we have more. We've got 5 days done.
Yeah.
I
You have
think.
to sleep on it. Like,
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah.
One of the days is couch day.
You know what? I think.
Not in my life. There's no couch day.
Okay. Right. Will we go Saturday then?
Yeah, let's do Saturday. Okay, so let's say we don't want to start drinking like super early. I would bring them
We
to.
getting a brunch on a Saturday, we getting brunch on a Sunday. What's the
So,
protocol for
It's so funny because I really would like ask me 3 years ago, and I would have been like, "This is where we're going for dinner, brunch." But now I'm definitely more like event focused.
Okay.
But like brunch. Cleaver East. I love Cleaver East for brunch. My friend's the head chef. Okay, I'm going to
Okay.
shout out all my friends' places.
shameless,
But it is
shameless.
genuinely really good.
Okay.
Bang
Where's
restaurant.
Bang?
It's so good.
Where's Cleaver East?
It's next to. It's on Essex Street, next to Bono's Hotel. What's it called?
Ah,
The
okay.
Clarence.
It's a part of the Clarence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
We've passed.
We tried to go in there. Yeah. Not tried. We wanted to have a coffee,
Failed,
but
failed.
Yeah, it didn't.
And then Roberta's, actually, like literally one door down from there. Really good brunch. That's a great, and it's a really like beautiful location. Bang restaurant for dinner any night of the week. That's bougie, but it's so nice. I
Yeah.
love Bang.
Yeah.
But yeah, on a Saturday, What would we do? I'd say I would just like chill on a Saturday, like maybe just like go for a walk on the canal or something,
Yeah,
and get a coffee, and then I would go to the Tea Gardens, which is on the Quays. Have you heard of this
Japanese
place?
tea gardens.
I don't know if it's Japanese.
I
It's
think
run
it's
by a
just
Russian
tea
guy.
gardens.
Just tea
Yeah.
gardens.
The one where you sit down on the inside,
Yeah.
take your shoes off. It's fast.
Yeah, it's so chill, and it's
nice.
just like they brew your tea, and it's actually having problems right now. They're having landlord fights, so they don't have any electricity. So
Okay.
everything is
Candle
heated
lit.
with like, you know,
It's a
candles.
feature, not a bug.
Yeah. So it's kind of a bit cold, but they give you blankets and it's hot tea. So I hope that gets resolved because I was gone there for years.
Yeah, tea
And
gardens
Yeah.
are like tea garden.
Yeah, it's been around a long time.
it's a really cute place. I love that spot. And I feel like I would just walk down Capel Street. There's so many nice little like cafes and restaurants and cute little spots there. I love Capel Street, like Musashi if you want like cheap Asian, and there's just so many good spots on Capel Street. It's like buzzing.
Yeah, we like Capel Street. So last Wednesday we hosted an event in the Black Sheep on the top of Capel Street
cool.
for the podcast.
Oh my god.
Went down really well. It was our Christmas event.
Oh, no, I didn't
We had a
hear
couple
about
of
it.
comedians. We had Nia and Sean who were on the podcast previous. And then we did a little quiz, and yeah, it was good. It was
great
good fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed
we
it.
like Capel Street.
Capel Street's
what
the
day
home
was
of
it,
Life in Dublin.
Yeah.
It was on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We'll do another one, probably in February.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I love Capel Street. It's really like dub. It's really dub. It feels just really Irish and authentic. I love that street.
And Asian.
And Asian.
And Brazilian.
And Brazilian, yeah.
Where? What's that shop where we get the sweets? Is that, would you call it a
Isla.
Turkish shop?
Yeah, Turkish, Eastern.
Or Arabic in general?
Yeah, Isla.
Oh man, they do those.
So
What do you call it?
baklava.
Baklava. Baklava is fish.
Isn't
Baklava.
that
Bak-
baklava? That's Greek, isn't it?
Baklava. No, it's Turkish, no?
Yeah.
The crispy?
Well, it's-
Yeah, with the thin
filo
pastry,
and
yeah.
the-
Yeah, that's Greek.
Pistachio
But
on
it could
top.
be. It could be just a
It
mix of
is
it.
so good.
Baklava.
Yeah, something like that.
Not the one you wear.
That's balaclava.
That's it. For
Yeah,
our
that's
dyslexic listeners.
yeah. Probably about 90% of people.
All the sweets in there.
And our sheep.
And some of the hosts.
Managed to insult everyone listening. But it's okay.
The sweets there, really, really nice. So good.
Yeah.
And then they have the pizza breads and the burek and all the cheesy stuff. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
So I actually discovered that place initially from like a food blog that's now become incredibly popular
Yeah.
called All the Food.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
I love that
Yeah.
name.
It's a really good.
You
it's
got me
now,
into that one.
It's now I think you have to pay. I don't to like get like the extra
Yeah.
content or whatever.
Okay.
But they do some really good reviews of restaurants in Dublin. So I always say to people, if you're looking for a good place to go to All the Food. Their Instagram, for example, they'll have. It's all of those kind of little kind of places that maybe you wouldn't think has something amazing inside. But
Mhm.
as you said, that kind of pizza bread or whatever, it's not whatever the name of it is sensational.
It's so good.
And the sweets that they have there are so good as well.
Yeah, and it's easy to just walk by it because there's so many shops there.
Mm.
Yes.
No, Capel Street's good.
Yeah.
Good spot. You can spend a whole day in Capel Street,
Yeah.
like morning to night, and do everything you want there.
That's true.
That's it.
Didn't it get rated like some?
Capel Street?
It got rated as one of the coolest streets in
Oh yeah, in
Rated.
Europe. or
Rated.
something.
Yeah, I think
Smithfield.
it's
Smithfield.
rated.
I heard rated.
Yeah,
Like the
rated.
SWAT team.
Smithfield or
Rated.
something got
Oh,
that.
rated.
Yeah. It got
Excuse
rated.
me.
The whole street.
The whole street. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Is there that many guards in Dublin?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a cool place.
Okay.
Alright, we have Saturday nicely lined out. Or what are we doing Saturday evening? Or
Saturday
is that,
evening.
Is that buying a restaurant?
Yeah, but after the restaurant. I would definitely go to, I would definitely go
Yeah.
to a gig. I would go to a gig. Like I would say I've been going to Shinee a lot recently, and they always have good music there lined up. Like it's definitely more on the like metal rock side of things, but earlier on they might have like some folk. I would bring them to Shinee or the Cobblestone. Because like just kind of the Cobblestone, if they've never been in Irish and they want something really authentically Irish,
Yeah.
definitely bring them there. But Shinee, just in general, I've gone to a few gigs recently there that like have just been class, or like Whelan's or Ansha. I would bring them to like anyone. I would just look up the gigs and see like what's the hot gig tonight.
Good idea.
You know.
Yes, that's cool.
Go with the flow.
So, yes.
Yeah.
I love
That's on
that.
Tuesday.
My bad. The other flow.
Yeah.
And Sunday, we rest on Sunday.
Sunday
go to
fun
mass.
day.
Eat bread and water.
What would I do on Sunday? I would, like I definitely would try to take it easy, I would say, but I'm not sure what I would
It's
do.
been a good week so far.
Yeah, it's
It's been
been
a
a
week.
big week. You're
I would
probably
probably-
broke.
Yeah.
You could do another nature day, like.
I
that's
would
it,
I
just
would
go to-
chill.
Yeah.
But also like there's just so much going on Sundays that I would just do a little Google or something, but I would say, what would I like definitely do? What's always on a Sunday? There's nothing always on a Sunday, but like I don't know.
There's different markets.
Yeah,
Markets,
pop-ups,
pop-ups.
yeah.
Markets, yeah. Some shopping. I haven't brought them shopping.
Yeah, that's
There's so many good little vintage stores.
Yeah.
Agitate.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I would bring them, to maybe some of the vintage stores, get some like nice Irish snacks or something.
There you go.
Stephen's Green, Grafton Street is Stephen's Green Shopping Centre is beautiful around Christmas as well.
Yeah,
That's true.
I used to do a shop day, snack and shop day maybe.
Yeah, so you'd have like in terms of markets, you have I'm gonna get this wrong, but you've got Le Zeitgeist in Smithfield every third Sunday, I think, of a month. Then normally you have the Dublin 8 market
The Liberties.
every month. I think that's the last Sunday of every month. These are all outdoor markets that have actually stopped. So they stop normally from like November to January. Probably will start again in February. Then I mean, there's loads of other ones around, but
Like even just walking around Georgia Street Arcade, like Georgia Street Arcade is
Yeah.
cute.
That's
Like there's pop-ups around Temple Bar. There's like I've seen little stalls around Temple Bar, like the new side.
What's that little square next to Dublin Castle with a square bollards in the middle that's in front of the Olympia?
There's markets there, is
There-
there?
yeah.
Oh, there's books there sometimes.
Books,
Yeah, I've seen books there.
Records, second-hand stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not huge, but I've
Okay.
seen like mornings. I think it's there on the weekends, or
Mhm.
not sure what day, if it's Saturday or Sunday. But they
Okay.
do stuff everywhere, like.
Yeah.
yeah.
And the Christmas markets are coming.
So
up
many
as well,
Christmas
yeah.
markets in the the Dandelion markets in the Well every or once a Sunday a month as well.
The one in Dublin Castle, the Christmas one, is very nice.
Is
They have the spinny Ferris wheel and
Oh, yeah.
loads
Oh,
of stuff.
cute.
Mulled wine, coffee, crepes, nice Christmas stuff.
Ice
Disney.
skating.
Ice skating. You can go
That's
to
a good Sunday
Blanche,
one day.
Dundrum. Where is it?
Blanche, I think. There's definitely one in Blanche, and there could be one in Dundrum as well.
Yeah, Funderland.
Is that still around?
No idea.
I don't know how
But
Wexford
there's ice
is.
skating in the RDS for sure.
Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Mm.
From that
Wonderland.
classic ice stuff.
Vomit
Man,
and
yeah.
sawdust everywhere.
Just one of those things. They haven't. There's no sense to it. Like a roller coaster, I'm all on board. I love roller coasters, but those things, I can't remember what their name is, where they basically just spin you around
Spinning
and turn you
teacups.
No.
You're on about the wall,
Give me a bit more credit than that.
They're called the waltzers, actually.
The waltzers.
They're the
was it,
spinning
is it?
teacups.
No, the spinning teacups are literally teacups, and they just go around and they kind of spin.
Yeah.
But the waltzers, they go upside down.
At
At least the hardcore ones
Oh,
do.
maybe.
You know.
I'm
if
not,
you're like
I'm not
hardcore.
I'm not hardcore
I
enough
don't know.
for the waltzer.
Yeah.
You know, I can only remember.
That's a bit of crack as well. Good choice.
There we go.
Geez, fair play. You've given us
What a
so
week.
much stuff to do.
What a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
busy.
gonna
I'm
be
tired
fun.
already.
Yeah.
Okay, and week 2, let's go.